In today's video, we're going to be working on the Hellcat swapped Dodge Dakota. So I've been outlining with you guys, we had a catastrophic transmission failure on this truck. We had a bad vibration in and around 100 miles an hour. We went through the traps in the 8th mile and completely destructed and demolished the transmission in this. If you haven't checked out the video, check it. I'll link it up above. But right now, what we're trying to do is diagnose the problem. We've got a new transmission in there, and we also triple checked the drive shaft. We also have a new drive shaft from, after that incident. We did have a steel one in there, but we took that steel one out. It's still balanced out even after the incident. And we ended up getting an aluminum one built. And we put that on, we tested it. I've showed you guys this before if you're following along. If you're new to the channel, I'll just quickly outline it. Wheels are off. We've got 2 lug nuts holding the rotor tight. And we're gonna be putting it down on the jack stands and running it through the gears up into about the 70 to 100 mile an hour mark. And that's where this thing starts to shake. You really start to feel it in the chassis. That's without the front wheels moving. It's not the engine or the transmission, because that would be RPM based. And like I said, it's a completely different transmission. And if it was something on the engine, whether it was a harmonic balance or something, it would be at a certain RPM. But it doesn't matter what RPM, it's only to do with the speed of the driveline that it starts getting into this weird vibration. So I've got the drive shaft in here. We also did decide to put the slip at the rear on recommendation from a few different people that know a little bit more about this stuff. So they recommended putting it here, so we put it on the back, rebalanced it just to make sure that it's perfect, and I got it back in here. So I'm gonna put it down and we're gonna try it. I'm gonna see if I feel the vibration, and if I do, then we're gonna be onto the axle. So that's what the axle's sitting there for. We're gonna end up swapping it out and putting another axle in, because we're kind of running out of items that it might be. We'll see. At this point, we've had 2 different drive shafts in here, and this one's been this particular drive shaft, the aluminum one, this is the 2nd time it's been balanced. So I doubt it's the drive shaft, but we're gonna go ahead and check, and then now we'll see what it does, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so here we go. Also, I am hooking up a fuel pressure gauge. I've told you guys I have a bit of a starting issue, so I want to see what our fuel pressure is just on cold start, and then I'll also monitor the fuel pressure when it's hot and see. I don't know if it's going to act up, but I want to keep an eye on it. So I just have a fuel pressure gauge there, and let's go ahead and we'll start this thing, and hopefully she doesn't shake, but I'm willing to bet it might be something else. Here she is, you guys. Good old Hellcat. Dakota, I guess. I don't know what we're calling it. Hellcota. All right. So let's see what our fuel pressure is just under first prime. Looks pretty good. Let me see though. So we are at 56 psi. So it's not a bad pressure to have. Let's start her up. So we're gonna run it up through the gears and see what we got. So usually about 1200 RPM and 8th gear gets us in around the 70 mile an hour mark. It's hard to illustrate, guys, but if you can see over here, this is the gear. So it's in 8th right now. If I downshift to 7th, it doesn't change much, but you gotta remember when I downshift like that, wheel speed changes, so it's actually going same speed. But if I click it down, it starts shaking. I can feel it. So all we got is 8 gears, of course, but watch. still doing it, you guys. guys, I can feel it. It's coming from like, you feel it coming from like the butt area of the seat. So I know it's not right still, so I think we're still in the same position, unfortunately, guys. So I think we're gonna have to throw that axle in there. So apply the brakes, throw in park. Woo, I miss this thing, you guys. All right, well, looks like we are gonna be taking out the rear axle, you guys. Still is vibrating, so I can still feel it. So it's already pretty late here, and I got a few other things I gotta wrap up inside. So probably resume tomorrow and start ripping that thing out. I think I'm gonna do it two ways. So I'm probably gonna just transfer the brakes over. If I still have the vibration, then I will, swap over the brakes as well. But I'm gonna take that axle out. I'll probably put this brake conversion kit back on, and hopefully all is well after that. But because that way I don't have to bleed the brakes. If I take those brakes off, then I have to bleed them again. So just save us a little bit of extra hassle. So I will have to take out the axles in order to get the brake conversion kit off though. So I'll have to pull the cover, take out the clip to pull the axles, to take out the bracket, and then put the axles back in so that we can seal it up and all that stuff. So we'll do that tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the morning.